Welcome to my channel, and this channel is called The Long Apprenticeship. For the next 365 days, I'm writing one short story every day and reading it aloud, once unedited and exactly as it is. And without further ado, the first story, Black Mantis with Ralph's Plate. It's a gloomy but surprisingly warm day on the north side of Chicago. It's odd for the middle of January, but this abnormally was contradictingly the least odd compared to some of the other horrendous situations going on in this area. Officer Daybreak had been patrolling this beat for 10 years. He's quite familiar with a lot of Edge Lakes community. With every step he took, confidence and pride in his walk shot through his legs, shot through his body. There is loud commotion coming from the alley. A concerned neighbor called in complaining. Static shot out from his radio, followed by three click sounds. All units stand by for a suspicious activity call. Officer Daybreak reached for the door handle. Caller reports a suspicious individual. His demeanor shifted. He became a different person. Sternly, he plopped into the squad car. The, dis- the description and location of the suspect was complete. Smoothly pulling out the next few seconds, the scenery became blurry like a smeared painting. A man stood over a man stood over a helpless woman. He yelled in broken outbursts, followed by mumblings. His arms flailed jaggedly. He couldn't structure a coherent sentence. His sclera glowed a red tint. This man could have just ingested every drug known to man. The rising and falling wail. Woo, woo, woo. Daybreak arrived. Just in time. Without hesitation, his door popped open. The next second, he's outside, gripping the trigger of the latest stun gun. Freeze, don't move. The woman winced in fear. The crazed man carried on uninterrupted. To him, it was just the two of them. The officer took 4 quick steps closer. Suddenly, the man stiffened up, frozen. His body jerked stiffly. The woman slid out of the suspect's line of sight. He toppled over. Daybreak ordered the suspect to place his hands behind his back. He murmured. Moments later, as the man sat slouched over in the back of the squad car, the officer is writing a report for the woman. Oddly enough, turns out the crazed man was her ex-boyfriend. The following week, a mailbox slammed shut and locks. Someone's thumbing through bills. The young the young man exhaled a sigh. He pressed the down arrow to the building's elevator. The door had paint chips and scribbles on it. The elevator cranked and recalibrated. After each floor, it seemed better days. He slid open the first door, then slid open the singular elevator door. There was barely any space. A sign above read maximum weight was 500 pounds, but it wouldn't be able to support anything over 300 pounds. The door crushed behind him. The door crashed behind him. It added insult to injury. The arrow lit up. He arrived on the third floor, prying open the doors with both hands. The door thudded behind him. His front door flung open to his studio. Fuck, man. He tossed the mail and his other belongings across the room and dived onto the bed, overwhelmed. Hours later, there's a knock on the door, but nothing. He laid there. The knocks became progressively louder. Finally, snapping out of his sleep, he cranked the door open. It's a kid, no older than 12, wearing a large backpack. Didn't you hear me? He entered the apartment. My bad, I just woke up. How was school? The boy bustled into the kitchen. Fine, fine, Dad. There's not any more pizza or cookies. The man stared into nothingness. Okay, I'll go get some. I'll go get some. Give me a few minutes. He strided down the alley. This week was colder than the previous week. Arms pumping bent at the elbow, his hands were buried deep into his pockets. A massive grocery store occupied the corner. All day, every day, people poured in and out of all foods. His strides became more aggressive. A gust of freezing wind also picked up its pace. He closed the distance. The traffic light erupted green. Everything aligned with disruptions. With no disruptions in his path. His sight locked on the store. He leaned over and grabbed a handbasket. The man was determined. He scanned each aisle, cut down the frozen food section, and grabbed a box of pizza. Then he scanned the snack aisle. He grabbed a pack of cookies. His stride loosened up. His pace slowed down as he approached the cashier. The worker scanned the items. You can swipe now. He scrambled for his wallet. Sir, you can pay now. It's $20. He ignored the worker's snarky remarks. An alert sounded off. His card had declined. Then twice more after that. Confusion sat upon his face. Searching his thoughts, he recalled having enough to buy those items. The worker's stern face and impatient words tried to cut him deeply. You only had $3, sir, she shouted. Okay, calm down. I don't need the entire store in my business. Her face grew more stale. Okay, well, you don't have enough. There was a line growing behind him. Hello, don't you understand? You can't afford it. Get out of my line. It cut deep. His anger welled up. The surroundings became obscured. The sound deafened until there was silence. Her still face shattered and recoiled into panic. Whack! The worker toppled over, out of her chair. The people that stood behind him erupted in disapproval. Another worker called the authorities. He couldn't make out any words. His eyes rapidly darted from left to right. Breaking out of his disconnection, he fled the scene. The scenery blurred, crisscrossing through oncoming traffic. He detoured down the alley. Woo, woo, woo. Sirens grew louder. Three squad cars arrived at the scene. Panting down the alley like a runaway slave, under his arm he held the stolen box of pizza. And cuffed in his hand like a football was the pack of cookies. Woo, woo, woo. He couldn't catch 10 seconds of breath. Fuck, man. He jogged the rest of the way. Sweat dampened his t-shirt. Off in the distance, the howl of the sirens. Approaching his apartment, mustering up the bits of energy to open the door, the tension in his arms and legs hasn't subsided. Luckily, the elevator was already called to the first floor, waiting on him.